Check. If you would, if you could please rise for the procession of the Distinguished Award recipients led by President Wendy Winterstein.
Good afternoon. You may be seated. Welcome to the 2024 Distinguished Awards Celebration at Iowa State University. Today, we have the pleasure of recognizing the recipients of the highest awards that Iowa State University presents to our alumni and friends. These honorees have contributed to Iowa State's legacy of excellence by embodying the cyclone spirit of hard work, perseverance, creativity, and innovation. Each honoree has a story that adds to the richness of our history, providing a source of pride, hope, and inspiration. It is through these stories that we are reminded of the life-changing power of an Iowa State education. We are so pleased to share these stories today and to acknowledge and thank the honorees, some of the most dedicated and loyal members of the Iowa State family. Before we begin the awards presentations, I want to recognize our student musicians. Would you please join me in thanking them for their lovely performance? Thank you again, and you may be excused back to class. I would also like to acknowledge several special guests with us today. Current and past members of the ISU Foundation and ISU Alumni Association Board of Directors and the governors of the ISU Foundation. Would you please stand? These are the volunteer leaders of Iowa State who devote a tremendous amount of their time, talent, and resources to our university. Your service and support are greatly appreciated. Thank you again for all you do. I would also like to recognize the leadership of our two associations, organizations, foundations that support us. Jeff Johnson, the Laura and Russ Talbot Endowed President and Chief Executive Officer of the Iowa State University Alumni Association, and Larissa Holtmeyer Jones, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Iowa State University Foundation. Larissa and Jeff, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for supporting strong connections with our alumni, donors, and friends. This ceremony is a wonderful celebration of the incredible impact that Iowa State alumni, friends, faculty, leaders, and partners have on our state, nation, and world. We are recognizing two groups of awardees this afternoon. First, the Order of the Knoll Awards are presented by Iowa State University through the Iowa State University Foundation. They include the Corporation and Foundation Award, the Faculty and Staff Award, the Cardinal and Gold Award, and the Campanile Award. The second group of awards is presented by Iowa State University and the Iowa State University Alumni Association. They are the Honorary Alumni Awards and the Distinguished Alumni Awards. We will begin by recognizing the Order of the Knoll Award recipients. First is the Order of the Knoll Corporation and Foundation Award. This award recognizes an entity that has demonstrated generosity to Iowa State University through the significant leadership, giving, dedication, and long-term service and assistance to student and faculty through recruitment opportunities and research programs. This year's honoree is Iowa Corn, which is made up of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Representing Iowa Corn are our CEO, Craig Floss, Iowa Corn Promotion Board President Stan Nelson, and Iowa Corn Growers Association Board of Directors President Jolene Reeson. Craig, Stan, and Jolene, would you please come forward? For nearly 50 years, Iowa Corn Partnership has supported research that not only helps Iowa corn farmers, but also numerous areas across Iowa State. This includes the Bioeconomy Institute, the Iowa Monarch Conservation Consortium, the Center for Crop Utilization Research, the Bio-Based Industry Center, the Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory, and of course, the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Established in 2013, the Iowa Corn Promotion Board, endowed chair in genetics, has helped advance cutting-edge research in the field of functional genomics, defining Iowa's prominence as a world leader in corn genomics. Iowa Corn's exceptional support of the ISU Kent Feed Mill and Grain Sciences Complex is advancing the future of feed production. In recognition of their generosity, the facility features the Iowa Corn Education Center, a classroom education area that provides hands-on learning, training for students, employees, and international guests and partners. Iowa Corn's partnership ensures research excellence and inspires tomorrow's leaders in the corn industry to meet the global need for food and energy in a sustainable manner. Congratulations to Iowa Corn, our 2024 Order of the Knoll Corporation and Foundation Award recipient.
Thank you. No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Good afternoon. On behalf of our presidents, Stan and Jolene, our officers from both of our boards here in the audience, the farmer members of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, and our checkoff contributors to the Iowa Corn Promotion Board, I wish to thank President Winterstein and the Foundation Award Committee for recognizing Iowa Corn with the Order of the Knoll Corporation and Foundation Award. It is indeed an honor to receive such a special award. Our relationship with Iowa State University goes back to our organizational founding in the 1960s and 70s as we invested in and utilized research from Iowa State that enabled our corn farmers to be more productive, efficient, and environmentally sensitive. Over time, as you heard from President Winterstein's biography of us, we've invested in many projects and programs here at Iowa State. Investments that we believe not only meet our organization's mission of creating opportunities for long-term Iowa corn grower profitability, but also for helping benefit farm families, local communities, and ultimately the entire state of Iowa. Arguably, our farmer members' relationship goes back to the very founding of the Iowa Agricultural College and Model Farm in 1858. As the nation's first land-grant institution with a three-part function encompassing teaching, research, and extension, Iowa State has led the way for our farmers to become the best in the world at producing crops and livestock, feeding not only their families, but feeding our state, feeding our country, and feeding the globe. For this, our corn farmers thank Iowa State University for its unparalleled commitment to our agriculture industry. The Iowa Corn Growers Association Iowa Corn Promotion Board will continue to partner and invest in Iowa State University, as it will surely help Iowa's corn farmers navigate an ever-evolving and complex world where more food will need to be produced with less inputs and in a more environmentally sustainable manner. Again, thank you for recognizing Iowa's corn farmers and their organizations with this most prestigious award.
Our next award is the Order of the Knoll Faculty and Staff Award. This award recognizes individuals or couples who are current or retired faculty or staff members. They are acknowledged for their substantial commitment to promoting and expanding philanthropy at Iowa State through both personal philanthropy and significant professional and volunteer service. This year's honorees are Ann D. Thompson and the late R. Bruce Thompson. Ann is a professor emerita and founding director of the Center for Technology in Learning and Teaching, or the CTLT, at Iowa State University. Bruce was an Anson Marston Distinguished Professor in both the Aerospace Engineering and the Materials Science and Engineering departments. He also served as the director of the Center for Non-Destructive Evaluation at Iowa State University. Ann, would you please come forward? Ann and Bruce were true university citizens and a powerhouse of exceptional talent. They've also made a tremendous impact on many lives. Bruce was known by his students as a world-class scientist and an inspiring teacher. Over the course of his career, he had 25 patents and was inducted into the National Academy of Engineering. With the ability to empower people to generate innovative ideas and make an impact. Ann served in many capacities at Iowa State before retiring in 2012. This included leadership roles in the College of Education and as president of the Science Bound Advisory Board. After leading the CTLT for many years, she now leads the philanthropic support of this unit, which celebrated its 26th anniversary in 2022. Together, Ann and Bruce established the Ann D. Thompson CTLT Excellence Fund and the R. Bruce Thompson Graduate Fellowship in the Center for Non-Destructive Evaluation, which has been awarded to 17 graduate students so far. And you and Bruce have left a lasting impact on many lives and a wonderful legacy at Iowa State. Thank you.
You may wonder why I have t-shirts with me, but that's coming in a second here. It is a deep honor to be able to accept this award for Bruce and for me, and to honor our time at Iowa State. The award means a great deal to me, and part of it is that it is honoring the two of us and the life we led and enjoyed for 44 years at Iowa State University. We came in 1980. It was a huge decision for us. I'm a native Californian. We lived in Southern California. Bruce was working for the Rockwell Science Center, and we became interested, we were interested in changing careers. Bruce was interested in Iowa State because he could see a possibility for establishing a center for non-destructive evaluation. And I was interested in Iowa State because I was finishing a PhD and was interested in an academic career. So in 1980, after pondering this decision carefully, we made a trip from Thousand Oaks, California, with 2 old cars stuffed with stuff and children, some of them are here, animals, and drove halfway across the country, kind of with the style of a John Steinbeck novel. And we arrived in Ames. And almost immediately, we found Ames to be a welcoming place. We found colleagues, we found friends, we found a good fit. Our initial idea is that we were coming to Ames and to Iowa State for 4 or 5 years, and then we would go someplace else. 44 years later, I am still here, and still here mostly because I love Iowa State. I love the memories of our time at Iowa State, and I still have the opportunity to interact with colleagues and friends. We are lucky. We're a dual career family, and each of us found a great niche here, and we were forever grateful for that. And as I said, the fact that I'm still here says it all. In 2011, Bruce was diagnosed with a very serious, aggressive cancer. And that was his last chapter in Ames. And once again, Iowa State and Ames was here for him. One of my last memories of Bruce was that a student came in with a report of results from an experiment they were doing. And Bruce was very compromised and very weak and very interested in what that student had to say. And for me, that's just a wonderful memory and kind of summarizes who he was and what he stood for and the fact that we felt so at home here and had so many opportunities. And finally, the t-shirts. I have 2 t-shirts here. I'm not giving them away, however. A friend and colleague sent me a note of congratulations, and he said, "And I hope you tell them about the eggheads." And this was probably 5 years after we came. With a group of friends, we established, there's some eggheads in the audience out here, actually. We established a softball team, and it was a team of faculty and students. I was the coach. I knew nothing about softball, but I'm kind of good at managing people, so that worked out. And Bruce was a really good player. The Eggheads played for 20 years, and memories of summer nights with Virgil Lagomarsino in his lawn chair, cheering for the Eggheads, I will always treasure. So as I think back on that, I'm again just grateful for this award, grateful for our time at Iowa State, and I say thank you. Oh. But I almost forgot the most important part. Our team had a lot of we were young, but we weren't students. We had some students and some faculty, and we won the intramural championship several times.
Our next award is the Order of the Knoll Cardinal and Gold Award. This award is presented to an individual or couple for providing dedicated and long-term service and leadership for the ISU Foundation and Iowa State University. It recognizes those whose involvement with the university and the foundation has been lasting and has made a substantial impact in promoting and expanding philanthropy that supports Iowa State. The award is presented to Jim Frine. Jim received his bachelor's degree in industrial administration in 1967. He is the retired president and CEO of the investment firm Hutchison, Shockey, Early and Company, and founder of Commerce Bank of Arizona. Jim, please come forward. A first-generation college student, Jim was strongly influenced by one of his professors, Harry Shadle. Dr. Shadle recognized Jim's potential and guided him through decisions that led to an accomplished career in the investment industry. Jim has shared his financial and business acumen with Iowa State for more than 2 decades by serving on and leading multiple committees. These included the Ivy College of Business Campaign Committee, the Ivy College of Business Deans Advisory Council, and the ISU Foundation Governor's Finance Committee and Investment Committee. He also was a member of the Foundation's Board of Directors. Jim never forgot Dr. Shadle. So Jim and his wife Ann, who is also an Iowa State graduate, established the Harry L. Shadle Endowed Scholarship and the Shadle Faculty Development Fund. The scholarship is one of the largest scholarship funds in the Ivy College of Business and has impacted the lives of 78 Iowa State students. Thank you, Jim. We deeply appreciate your support, loyalty, and leadership. Thank you.
President Winterstein, Dean Spalding, and the head of the ISU Foundation, Larissa Holtmeyer-Jones. 18 to 20 years ago, a young lady and Ben Allen knocked on our door. I had no idea at that point in time where it was going to end up, but Larissa and Ben Allen were there to talk to us about Iowa State. And it's been a lot of fun. I started back in 1960. As Wendy said, I was the first in our family to go to college, and I realized very quickly that the financial support wasn't going to be there, but through jobs and direction, I made it. I wanted to come to Iowa State and be a civil engineer, and I realized very quickly I wasn't quite cut out for it. I tried to convince my parents that TE was technical engineering, and they didn't believe me. And in my third year, I'd like to say my junior year, 2 very important people came into my life. One was a young Kiowa by the name of Ann Schaff, and if I'm a good boy, we'll celebrate our 58th wedding anniversary this fall. I still have 4 months to go, so take it easy. The other person was Dr. Harry L. Shadle, who at that time was the head of the finance department of what was called Industrial Administration, which is now the College of Business. After a couple of years, Dr. Shadle called me into his office and asked me if I'd be a student grader. And I said, obviously, yes. And as a student grader, you spend several hours a week in the office. Most of the time was spent talking with Harry, as I got to call him, about life, how I was going to get someplace, what I was going to accomplish, and what jobs I should be looking for. One of the side benefits of being a student grader is back in those days it was blue books, and I accumulated thousands of pens from my friends. Harry was a very perceptive individual. I guess he saw something in me that most others didn't, including myself. And we discussed a lot of different things, and it was probably the best job fair I could ever go to, sitting and talking with Harry. He was very high on banks as somebody coming out of the finance business, and he was strongly in favor of a particular bank in Chicago, which obviously was my first job. And Harry was one of these individuals that he was the champion of the average student. He was a faculty advisor to almost every campus activity that existed. He was my idea of what a faculty person should be. As for my career, he hit the nail on the head. I spent 30 years in Chicago in the municipal bond industry and loved every minute of it, except for a couple times when there were hiccups in the market, and I'd made sure Ann had her teaching certificate in order. But our love was also the Rocky Mountains, and after 30 years, we decided there was a lot more to life than just making money, and we headed west. The Harry L. Shadle Scholarship was supposed to have been endowed upon my demise, but we finally realized that was not a great idea. There was a lot of fun to be had, and so we endowed the fund in 2014, and as Wendy said, we've had a lot of wonderful young individuals. As you can imagine, these students come from all walks of life, and they all have their own stories. Some of our students qualified for a 2-year scholarship, and so we really got, with 2 of them, we got to spend a lot of time. We had a young man that came from a small country bank in Iowa, and he was going back to be a 4th-generation banker. So we sat him down and had a discussion about what he should do. And he came back his 2nd year. He walked in the door and said, "I'm going to Kansas City," which was just a delight. He had paid attention to us about exploring life and what is possible. The other young man came in fully dressed, coat, tie, unlike most of the students that came in. And he could look us in the eye, ask us questions, talk to us. And he came back his 2nd year. And after he left, I talked to Dean Spalding. I said, you know, if you ever need somebody to speak for Iowa State, Tyler is the man to do it. From what I found out later, he gave the commencement address at the College of Business the year he graduated. That's, last but not least, I became a governor. And I've had 18 great years meeting some wonderful people, sharing ideas, and the people that were on these committees had one thing in mind, and that was to continue making Iowa State one of the best institutions in the country. I'm deeply thankful to all of you for awarding this to me, and I'll remember it for the rest of my life.
Our next award is the Order of the Noel Campanile Award. This award recognizes the extraordinary, longtime support of an individual or couple who has had significant and inspiring impact on Iowa State University. The award honors those whose loyal philanthropic support has transformed the university. This year's honoree is Stephen G. King. Steve received his bachelor's degree in landscape architecture in 1968. He is the retired founder and chairman of the board of Landscape Structures Incorporated. Steve, would you please come forward? Iowa State students and graduates are making an impact on the world with their innovative ideas. Steve King is an example of this. He revolutionized an industry and reshaped how children play with an idea that struck him while at Iowa State. Against all odds, he and his late wife, Barb, would go on to establish Landscape Structures, a playground equipment company with structures at schools and in neighborhoods worldwide. Today, Steve is supporting the next generation of change makers at Iowa State through his generosity. He provided a lead gift for the King Pavilion addition to the design building. He also established the Barbara King Scholarship for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. This scholarship inspires students to engage in imaginative research projects that explore the practical application of design. Steve and his wife, Susan Boren, who goes by Sam, continue to support the top-ranked landscape architecture program. They recently established the Steve and Susan King Excellence Fund in Landscape Architecture, which promises to propel the program to even greater heights. Steve, you are a great inspiration to Iowa State students. Thank you and congratulations. Thank you.
Two sheets of paper. Won't take long, promise. But thank you, President Winterstein, for your fine words. And thank you to the foundation for the honor of the Campanile Award. I have always felt comfortable that our gifts to the university would be well stewarded. The team at the foundation and the leadership of the School of Design have been terrific partners for me and my wife. When I graduated from Iowa State, I was not a philanthropist. I was broke, like others, I'm sure, in the room. My ability to support the university started with a bad grade from my final project in landscape architecture. We were asked to design the open space inside a new townhouse project. I decided a playground would fit the space and the unique needs of the planned community. In the 60s, playgrounds had a swing and a slide and a merry-go-round over asphalt, spread out. I'm sure you've seen them all over the place. Well, in my observations, I felt there was a better way. So if I look back and say, what was, this was a sterile, opportunity for kids to play that had the makings of, well, I shouldn't say it the other way around, that landscape structures then became the norm. After watching kids in the playground, I felt there was a better way, and the better way is what we took. My best resource was the Child Development Department, where I spent a lot of time observing kids And I also spent a lot of time in the communities and the cities around that had similar playgrounds that needed revamping. I developed a concept where the equipment is linked, giving kids choices and opportunities. Remember, the older ones were spread all over the place? How about combining those things, letting kids go from activity to activity? So eventually, what I called it was the continuous play concept, and it really looks at kids and says this is an opportunity to learn real-life skills. I thought the idea was great. My teacher didn't. He said, you can't put that many kids together like that. They'll just push and shove. It could be a problem. It was worth a C+ to him. I could not convince him otherwise, so a year later, I had the opportunity to build one of these new playgrounds in Minneapolis. It was so successful that I quit my job. And I started Landscape Structures with a borrowed $1,000. Today, we have nearly 700 employees who are ownerships through an ESOP program, and Landscape Structures is the largest playground equipment manufacturer in the United States. It started here at Iowa State. I've not forgotten that, although I'll never forget the C+. Thank you.
I have to interject, Steve, and say I think there are a few others in the room that remember some C+ grades too. So. Well, please join me in another round of applause for our Order of the Knoll Award recipients. Next are the awards presented by Iowa State through the Iowa State University Alumni Association. First is the Honorary Alumni Award. This is the highest honor given by Iowa State to individuals who are not graduates of the university, but who have made significant contributions to the university's welfare, reputation, prestige, and pursuit of excellence, and who should be recognized as members of our alumni family. We have two honorees this afternoon. The first recipient is Dean Hunziker, CEO of Hunziker Companies. Dean, would you please come forward? Born and raised in Ames, Dean is a lifelong Cyclone. He attended Iowa State University in the early 1960s, but his career took him in a different direction. He became a realtor in 1965 when he joined Hunziker and Associates, a local business established by his father. Today, Dean is president of the firm and has expanded the operations beyond Ames. Over the years, Dean has been a great advocate and dedicated friend of Iowa State. He serves as an ISU Foundation governor, supports the Alumni Association, and is a valuable member of two advisory councils in the Debbie and Ivy College of Business, and a trusted real estate expert. He provided valuable assistance with the expansion of the ISU Research Park. In honor of his service, Dean received the Ivy College of Business Russ and Ann Jardine Award, which recognizes a non-alumnus who has provided valuable leadership and support to the college. And it is no surprise he cheers on the Cyclones as a season ticket holder. Dean, you are a Cyclone through and through, and we're happy to recognize you with this Honorary Alumnus Award.
Good afternoon. I thought about what I was going to say because they wanted my remarks to be brief, and so I thought I'd think about this for a minute. As a child, I fished in Lake Laverne. I attended football games at Clyde Williams Field. I attended basketball in the Armory. And I took swimming lessons from Jack McGuire in the old men's gym. Many of you probably know Jack. And then I played freshman football, although I needed that time to study. And my advisor helped me with that and asked me what I wanted to do, and I said sales, not offered by Iowa State College. So with that, I moved to Kansas City and went to work for City National Bank, where I continued my education in finance, and then I sold vacuum cleaners in the evening and on the weekend, which was quite an experience also. Then those two things started my real estate career. It took a while to realize, when calling a college to talk with a prospect here, and I said Dean Hunziker, it opened many doors, as they assumed I was a dean at one of the colleges. So it turned out to be a great advantage, trust me. So, working with Workiva and others in the ISU Research Park has really been an education and rewarding experience for me. And as you all know, the Research Park is doing tremendous things for the city of Ames and the state of Iowa. Memories of campus life, sporting events, and traditions like Visha and Homecoming have contributed to my sense of loyalty to Iowa State University. And I just want to say thank you for this award, and Iowa State University is the best. Thank you so much.
Our next recipient is Max Rothschild, a C.F. Curtis Distinguished Professor Emeritus at Iowa State University. Max received a bachelor's degree in animal science from the University of California, Davis, a master's degree in animal science from the University of Wisconsin, Madison, and a doctorate in animal breeding from Cornell University. Max, would you please come forward? Max truly personifies Iowa State's motto, science with practice. Serving Iowa State for 42 years, he has devoted his time to research, teaching, and international service to the field of animal breeding, genetics, and genomics of livestock. He is widely recognized as a world leader in the field of pig genetics. Through his leadership, Iowa State's animal genetics group is the best in the nation and among the top 3 groups worldwide. He and his students have made groundbreaking discoveries that have led to a total of 12 U.S. patents. Max has also helped improve food security around the globe. This includes serving with Iowa State Center for Sustainable Rural Livelihoods, where he worked for more than 15 years in Uganda, helping families improve livestock production. He has received numerous recognitions. The list is truly astounding. They include being named a Fellow of the National Academy of Inventors and a Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. In addition, he has an endowed professorship in his honor, the Rothschild Endowed Professorship in Global Food Security and Animal Science. Max, we're proud to recognize you with this honorary alumnus award. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Honored guests, alumni, President Winterstein, Dr. Johnson, faculty, staff, students, and many friends of Iowa State, good afternoon. First, I want to thank especially the Alumni Association for this very precious award. As you might guess, being a faculty member, I was told you can't give a 50-minute lecture today. And so I hope to keep it under 3 minutes. You'll have to time me to see if I'm close. When I came to Iowa State, most people thought I was an Easterner or a Westerner. But in fact, if you knew my history, you'd know that I'm a Midwesterner by birth. My parents were Midwesterners. My dad was from Kirksville, Missouri, and my mother from Maquoketa, Iowa. And that's where my grandfather, Max, actually came with his 5 brothers when he escaped Russia in 1905. Iowa has been very precious to my family, and Iowa State was very important to my mother. And in spite of the fact that I grew up in Southern California, she insisted that I apply, since I was interested in animal science, she insisted I apply to Iowa State for an undergraduate degree, and I was accepted, but I chose to go to UC Davis, as President Winterstein said. My mother had a lot of relatives that were Hawkeyes, and so I kept getting reminded by her that I needed to apply to Iowa State when I graduated, and I did apply here for graduate school. But I was convinced to go to Cornell University by one of Iowa State's most famous alumni, Chuck Henderson. So the first 2 times I had a chance to come here, and I missed out. But later, in 1980, I got a chance to come here for my second faculty position. And I took the position quite quickly because this was a place to be. It was an up-and-coming animal science department. It had always been one of the best in the country, and it was growing very fast at the time. And the animal breeding group was quite good, and I was looking forward to being a member of it. I was told, well, we don't have to stay here forever, but we'll see how things work out. Since then, I have never regretted for a moment that I came to Iowa State. Thanks to great students, outstanding colleagues, many supportive administrators, a college and a university with a vision to applying science to help feed people, this was a place where my career could take off, and I very much appreciate it. It was suggested to me that I recall one single memory at Iowa State that was special to me and that I might relay that to you all. There's been too many of them, frankly. It's been exciting to teach students, to watch them succeed in their careers. It's been exciting to work with students and faculty, great colleagues here at Iowa State, really fantastic. And that's why my career has taken off, not so much because of me, but because of all the great people that are here and helpful and have helped make things work out. But however, if I had to narrow those experiences to the ones I cherish the most, I would say participating the last 15 or 20 years in the signature program in the College of Agriculture and Life Science, the Center for Sustainable Rural Livelihoods. That program in Uganda has been incredibly special to myself, to my family, because it helps us make a difference in poor people's lives. And this year, if you don't know that, it's the 20th anniversary of CSRL. We just saw a great movie of it and celebrated that yesterday. In my faith, we believe that if we can change a life, we can change the world. Here at Iowa State, every one of us gets that opportunity daily to change and make an opportunity for somebody. And by doing so, we help make the world a much better place. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Denise, who's here, my dear wife, Denise, and my children, Louise and Danny, for their support, love, and help in making these past 40-plus years here at Iowa State and Ames a life well spent. Thank you again to all of you for supporting Iowa State University, and again, thank you for this special award. Go Cyclones.
Our next honorees are the recipients of the Distinguished Alumni Award. This is the highest honor given to a graduate of Iowa State University, and it recognizes their outstanding contributions to their profession or life's work. We have 3 honorees. The first recipient is Alice Hudson. Alice received a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Iowa State University in 1963 and a master's degree in chemistry from Florida Atlantic University. She is the Technical Director Emeritus of Surface Chemists of Florida Incorporated. Alice, would you please come forward? That's great news. That's perfect. Alice received a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Iowa State. Here we are. Alice's love for the laboratory started in Gilman Hall when she was a 17-year-old freshman at Iowa State. Today, she has more than 50 years of laboratory experience and over 25 patented inventions. Her love for the laboratory steered her to Service Chemists of Florida in 1971. She became the owner, president, and CEO of the Research and Development Company in 1984. Later, she converted the company to employee ownership, of which she is rightly very proud and remains an engaged advisor. When she comes back to Iowa State, Alice regularly visits her favorite chemistry lab. She also talks with faculty and students. These include the recipients of a scholarship and a professorship in chemistry that she established. Through her generosity, Alice is giving back to Iowa State and encouraging the next generation of innovators and scientists. Alice, you are an inventor and a pioneer, and we are proud to recognize you as a distinguished alumnus of Iowa State University. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations, Alice. Thank you. I'm good.
Tip over. I'd like to express my sincere thank you to Iowa State and to the Alumni Association for honoring me as a distinguished alumni. When I got the email about this in November, I was really somewhat surprised because, frankly, my resume is not all that distinguished. Basically, I have happily been a lab rat for over 50 years. But if I connect this with Iowa State's mission to create, share, and apply knowledge, and also connect it with the land-grant ideals to put science, technology, and creativity to work, I think what is being recognized and rewarded is a long career in the trenches, and also a strong commitment to doing what I can to help and encourage other scientists, which over the years have included the SCF employees and interns, and also students of science at Iowa State and elsewhere who are likewise committed to these principles and ideals. I am very grateful for my unique experience as a student at Iowa State, which included 4 years on the bench in Dr. Chapman's laboratories, learning about photochemistry and about NMR, which was pretty much brand new back then. And we were doing NMRs of A2B2 systems, with truxilics and truxinic acids, and it was very exciting. And I also had 2 summer internships at Staley's, learning about the chemistry of corn and soybeans, which was also quite exciting. This experience truly enabled my career successes, and again, I am most grateful to this experience and the support that I got. I would like to thank Dean Schmidtman for giving me the opportunity to serve on the Dean's Advisory Council. It has been a very rewarding experience to reconnect with the college and with the awesome fellow LAS alumni on the committee, or on the council. It has been truly a delight to be updated about the exciting and innovative academic programs and research happening in the college. I want to thank President Winterstein for her strong commitment to the role of innovation and entrepreneurship in advancing Iowa State University, particularly exemplified by the Innovation Center and the Papa John Center, and also the University Park. I've heard her talk about this many times, including today earlier. I'm always excited to hear, and I applaud them very highly. I would like to thank Jared Anderson and his research group for their friendship and for sharing their exciting and highly innovative and relevant work advancing separation and detection methods in analytical chemistry. They are truly an inspiration. And last, but definitely not least, I would like to thank my colleagues at Surface Chemists of Florida, starting with Dr. Woodward, who founded the company in 1969 and hired me a year later. And thanks to all the hardworking and creative employees and associates who worked with us and contributed mightily to our success over the last 54 years. It has certainly never been boring. Thank you all again for the award and for the opportunity to be part of advancing this exciting research and academic programs that are happening here at Iowa State. Thank you.
Our next recipient is Thomas Kane. Tom received his bachelor's degree in industrial administration and in engineering operations from Iowa State University in 1972 and an MBA from Drake University in 1981. He is chairman of the board of the Waldinger Corporation based in Des Moines. Tom, please come forward. Innovative, hardworking, humble, and generous of spirit, Tom embodies the finest attributes of what it means to be an Iowa Stater. He began his career at Waldinger in his 20s and became CFO at age 30, and 3 years later purchased the company from the Waldinger family as part of a group of 5 employees. He eventually became the sole owner. A successful entrepreneur, Tom expanded the company into one of the largest mechanical and electrical contractors in the nation. Today, Tom's son, John, who is also an Iowa State graduate, serves as the CEO. Tom's impressive career is matched only by the impact he and his wife, Linda, have had on the community through their generosity, viewed as the gold standard of philanthropy in Des Moines. Proud of his Iowa State roots, Tom also gives back to Iowa State. He served on the Construction Engineering Advisory Council and created the Kane Family Business and Entrepreneurial Scholarship for members of his fraternity, Chi Kappa Epsilon. I also understand he and Linda are true global citizens and enjoy traveling the world. Tom, we're honored to recognize you as a distinguished alumnus. Congratulations. Thanks, Tom.
Good afternoon. I'd like to talk to you today about serendipity. Serendipity is the good fortune of finding something good by chance. Finding Iowa State was true serendipity for me. I grew up in a small town in South Dakota, and when I graduated from high school, I had never been to Iowa State and did not know one person who had gone there. Without a place to live, in August of 1967, I drove a purple 1964 Chevrolet Corvair to Ames, pulled into the Teak House parking lot at 224 Ash, and never left. I got a couple of degrees, but more importantly, I got a great education both on and off campus. I made friends for life. And I didn't know it at the time, but I also was to become connected to the university for life. I had great professors and advisors who provided good and timely guidance, including steering me to my first job with Arthur Anderson and Company in Chicago. After 4 years in Chicago, I returned to Iowa, and with an engineering degree and an accounting degree from Iowa State on my resume, I landed my dream job at the Waldinger Corporation. Shortly after that, I met Linda. On a sunny September day in 1979, I took her to an Iowa State football game on our second date. I recognized that afternoon that Linda didn't care much about football. But she really loved the marching band. Great choice for lunch today. Being an engineer and a problem solver, the solution was obvious. Future dates would include much more music. 16 months later, we were married. I became the sole owner of our company in the mid-1990s, and I hired an ISU instructor as a consultant, and he taught hundreds of our employees the concepts of statistical process control and continuous quality improvement. About the same time, I joined the Construction Engineering Advisory Council, and I met fellow Iowa Staters who were doing interesting and innovative things in their businesses. Our business took off. A few years later, our son John decided to go to Iowa State. I'd like to say it was because of my encouragement, but it might have been because of his girlfriend. He joined a fraternity, became its president, received a couple of degrees, and got a great education on and off campus. He made friends for life. And he also had a professor who recommended him for an internship that led to his first job out of college on Wall Street with J.P. Morgan. To our delight, 6 years later, John returned to Iowa and joined our family business. Together in 2013, John and I laid out a plan for even more substantial growth. We called it Plan B. Many of our past and present leaders were Iowa State grads, but for Plan B to be successful, we needed to build our talent pool even wider and deeper. We again turned to Iowa State. Over the next 10 years, a stream of Iowa State interns, project engineers, and project managers helped provide much of the talent and energy necessary to achieve the planned growth. I'm now retired, and John is our CEO. He is faster, smarter, and better than me in many ways, and is continuing to grow the business. Linda and I spend the winters in Florida, and 45 years after that second date, on game days, I happily retreat to my man cave, where I can pace and wave my arms and talk to the TV as I cheer for the Cyclones. And it's not unusual, as the game winds down, for me to receive a text message from a lifelong friend saying, "Go Cyclones." Today, I would like to thank all of those from the Iowa State family who have helped our family in so many ways throughout my career. I would like to especially acknowledge Chuck Handy, Bill Schrampfer, Dan Griffin, Bob Galena, and Spike Cradaville for their life-changing advice and counsel. I have to tell you, I am so proud to be an Iowa Stater. The good fortune of finding Iowa State was one of the best things to ever happen. And it is my absolute privilege and honor to be here. Go Clones.
Our final recipient today is Douglas Troxel. Doug received his bachelor's degree in mathematics from Iowa State in 1967. He is the retired founder and director of Serena Software, headquartered in Silicon Valley. Doug is not able to be here in person, but I believe he might be joining us virtually. I would like to send greetings to Doug. I hope to see you soon. Now I'd like to share a little bit about Doug. Studying mathematics at Iowa State University in the late 60s helped Doug discover a passion for the emerging field of computer science. He became a successful entrepreneur, charting a course and career that revolutionized the IT management and development industry. In 1980, Doug founded Serena Consulting and created the product CompareX, which became an industry standard for software companies. Doug built Serena into an innovative turnkey IT solutions provider with thousands of global customers. Doug's vision and the company's success allowed him and his family to make an even greater global impact through their philanthropic Change Happens Foundation. Troxel Hall at Iowa State would not have been possible without Doug and the Change Happens Foundation's support. Opened in 2013, this world-class teaching facility benefits students from all majors as they fulfill their course requirements in science classes offered by the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Aligning with Iowa State's land-grant mission, Doug and his wife Deb also established the Douglas and Deborah Troxel Award Fund to support students who might otherwise leave school due to financial constraints. Doug is truly a distinguished alumnus of Iowa State University, and we look forward to celebrating with him at a later date. Let's give him a round of applause. Will all of today's distinguished award recipients please stand? On behalf of Iowa State, we are extremely proud of you, and we are deeply grateful for your many contributions to our university, our nation, and our world. Would the audience please join me in another round of applause for these outstanding representatives? Thank you. I also want to thank our audience for joining us today and for being part of this very special tradition and celebration of Iowa State University. This concludes our program. We hope you'll stay for refreshments and an opportunity to visit with our awardees, these wonderful individuals and all that they've done for the world. Thank you all for coming.